In this video entitled Creating Our Dimension Tables, I want to just step you through very quickly and show you a little shortcut I've given you for creating the dimension tables, and then we'll do the fact table in a separate video. A little scenario that you can use to work along with me here and to experiment on your own with a very simple little data warehouse. Now, first of all, I have the SQL Server Management Studio open. Going to minimize it just a second and show you. On your disk you will have a work files folder, and inside that folder you're going to see some Transact SQL script files. Okay, you'll see one, for example, create dimension tables that we're going to use in this video. There's one for creating the fact table, then there's one for loading the dimensions and loading the fact. We'll use those later on in separate videos. And then for the absolute kind of the nuclear option, I scripted the entire finished database. And you can go open this script and execute it. It will create your VTC DW database. It will create the dimension tables, the fact table, establish all the relationships between them, set the primary and foreign keys, all that stuff. And so if you want to be really quick about it, you can just open and execute that. So let's open and execute the creating the dimension tables. Now, first thing let's do is get in the Management Studio and then just go to File, Open, and then choose File, and then just browse out to wherever you've copied that work files folder. Notice you should go copy the contents of that folder, but what we're looking for here is the create dimension tables SQL script, and it will be create dimension tables.sql out there in your work files. I would just copy that to your desktop and then access it from here. Now notice when I open it, it is going to give me some Transact SQL. Now I don't want to turn this into a Transact SQL class. There's a lot of different ways to go about this, but we're just going to create some simple little tables to use for examples, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do in loading these. Okay, so the first thing is our dimension table, the date table, dim date. And notice we're going to pull a date key. We're going to hold a date key that has a date type of date, and then we're going to get these various date parts. And you'll notice that I'm just creating a placeholder, a column, a data type for those out here. And then I'm going to set my primary key constraint on the date key column, okay, on this particular column. Then I will scroll down the dim customer dimension table, creating a customer key column title. Notice on as, now this I want you to notice a lot of different ways to go about this, but I'm discretizing here, okay? I want to make this discrete. I don't want to put all these people's individual ages because it's going to be kind of hard to rank them and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a generated column here, okay, that has a case statement in it. And notice we're going to drop the birth date in here, and we're just going to go pull that birth date. You will see later on from our AdventureWorks 2012 data warehouse dim customer table. But based on whatever birth date is up here on this row, we're going to do a date difference. And if the difference in the years between the birth date and the current timestamp year is less than 40, then we're going to input the word younger in this age column. If it's greater than 50, we're going to put older, and if it's anywhere in between those, we're going to put middle age. All right, and so we're going to basically discretize or make discrete, if you will, an age column based on birth date. So it's just a little example of generating something that we're going to use later. And then we're going to set up our primary key. Keep in mind we're just putting a name in our customer dimensions table. If you go out and look out there in the OLTP customer information tables, it's always out there as first name and last name. It's first and last name out there, even in the AdventureWorks 2012 DW dim customer table. But when we bring it into ours, we're going to load that by concatenating first and last name in there. And then on the product dimension table, pretty straightforward. We just simply decided what columns we want to have in our dimension, and then where to go find those. And again, we're going to use this AdventureWorks 2012 DW table kind of as a staging table, if you will. So we'll assume we've gone and located our data, we've loaded it into there in a staging format, maybe even from multiple sources, and so then we'll load from there. So that's all the script, and again, you've got a copy of this in your work files. And so notice, just make sure that I'm in the context of the VTC DW database that we created earlier. in a video entitled Creating Our DW Database, and I will just execute this, and hopefully I won't get any errors. Completed successfully. Come over here, I don't see any tables. Right click on the table under VTCDW and choose refresh, and there you can see our tables. And with that, we now have, and I'll expand this and let you see it, there are the columns. It's expanding those. There are the columns and the data types. In the DIM customer table, we'll take a look at the date table. There are the columns, but keep in mind we just created the tables. There's no data, and what we're going to do in the next video is create our fact table, and then we'll be ready to start to load, and we'll use SQL data tools and integration services to do our loads. So that'll get us into business there. That has created our dimension tables.